Heartopia has been out for 30 days. And as someone who has been a part of this game for all 30 days, I've learned a lot over this past month. Some through helpful hints from other players, some through trial and error, but I'm going to impart all that sage advice to you from everything like hobbies, events, special weather, everything. So you don't have to go into this game blind as a new player. And also, you can feel like you have a solid foundation under your feet so you don't feel overwhelmed in the beginning. Hi, my name is Lakin, and welcome back to our cozy little zoo. We're discussing everything you need to know as a new player in Heartopia. And while the game is still young and fresh, it's only been out for a month, there is a lot to go over. There is a lot going on. And especially if you log in on day one, you look over at your neighbor and they have a huge mega mansion, you may feel like you're falling behind. But trust me, you're not. So while this video is not going to go super in depth into everything, because otherwise this video would be like 8 hours long, instead we're going to be giving you a tasting, dive into the shallow end of the Heartopia pool and get a lay of all of the lands. And everything will be timestamped down below, so you can jump around to different parts that you may not understand, or you're like, okay, what do I do here? If you want to know a few tips and tricks for different things, it's all going to be timestamped for you to jump around or come back later if you need a fresh reminder. So if you don't know what Heartopia is, a quick brief overview. It's a free, cozy life simulator MMO. I like to say it's a mix between Animal Crossing and Palia. It has a big emphasis on clothing and decorating and just cute hobbies like bug catching, bird watching. You can write books, you can compose music, you can paint, you can cook, all your classic life simulating hobbies, but you can do so with your friends alongside you. But if you don't have friends in Heartopia, no worries. You don't have to play with friends. You don't have to play with other people. You can just see the other people hanging around doing their own thing while you hang around and do your own thing alongside them. Now, because this game is free, they do need to find a way to support the game. So there is in-game purchases, and some of those in-game purchases come in the form of gacha. And we'll dive more into that later, but just a heads up, there is in-game purchases, but every single item that you can purchase is a cosmetic that does not hinder you from any sort of gameplay. It's just aesthetics. And the lucky thing about this game is you can either play it on PC or you can play it on mobile. I'll have a link in the description to the official client TapTap that Heartopia uses, but you can also download it on Steam for PC or go to the Apple Store or the Android Store and download the mobile app there. Right now on the screen, you can see two side-by-side comparisons. The left is gameplay from PC and the right is gameplay from mobile. So you can kind of see the difference of how they run. I run it on a pretty big computer as well as an iPad Pro. So that is what we're looking at, but they run smoothly, they run fine for me, and I enjoy playing on both of them. I will say that the controls of Heartopia are funky in the beginning, especially if you're playing on PC. There is no controller support. The controls are geared towards mobile play. So it feels more natural to play it on my iPad, but as I've gotten used to it and comfortable with it, the controls no longer bother me on PC. So one of the things that I really like about Heartopia is how it introduces you to the game. This game does a really great job of walking you through things as long as you follow them. If you don't follow them, you will not know what's going on. So you have a watch in your dashboard that will slowly fill up with a bunch of different apps on this watch, as well as icons will slowly fill up over the top. Your UI will fill up slowly as you progress through the game. But if we want to take a quick look at the UI overall, up in the top left-hand corner is your map, and you can kind of see a little circle, but if you press M, it will open up a bigger map. And you can actually hold down on a section of the map. If you long press, eventually a little box will pop up where you can mark things down on the map. I like to mark down important resources that I want to get to easily or places I want to remember. I also have marked down where all the animal troughs are, and we'll get more into the animal troughs later in this video, but that is the thing that I like to document and keep track of the most on my map. But you can fill up that map with as many different icons and sections as you want. And also through pulling up this map, we can see that there are 12 different slots, so up to 12 people can be on a server at a time. Your house will be yellow, and if you have any friends playing at the same time as you, their house will be pink, and random strangers' houses will be blue. You'll be able to see NPCs and other players running around on the map, and you can track them, you can click on them, all that fun stuff. Right below the map is where you'll be able to see whatever quest or task you are working on and tracking in that specific moment. Also, to the right-hand side of the map, when you are completing an action, your energy bar will pop up there to show you how much energy you have, and you can also access the resident requests from the little calendar that is right beside the map. So you can complete requests from NPCs. If we move over to the right side of the UI, the little planet is kind of like your daily login and where the Heartopia developers put information they want you to see there. The snowman is the winter frost event that is going on right now. And the next two are the two paid shops that are in the store. One's the gacha and one's the regular premium stores type shop. But what I will show you is the watch. If you click on that, that will pop up all the different apps, and this is where all the apps will slowly fill up. When you start off, I think you have like 5, and then as you can see now, I have a lot more than that. And you can either tap on the watch or you can press tab to open up the watch and see all the little different sections. Underneath that is the backpack, and you can press B to open up said backpack, but this is a universal inventory system. You'll be able to slowly add more storage to your backpack, and then if you're at your house, you can slowly add more storage to your warehouse, and you can purchase that via a NPC known as Kaching. And then right beside the backpack, you will see a house with a wrench. And this is where you can go into more depth of building and not just like moving stuff and pulling things out of the backpack one at a time to place them down. You can edit your house, you can change your house, you can do solo building or co-op building in that section. Going over the controls, you use WASD to walk around. You have to hold your mouse, hold your mouse and move the mouse around to look around. You have to press the space bar to jump, and anytime you want to swing your hammer, catch a fish, pick up something, you press the F button. And then down at the very bottom, I have a car, a smiley face, a camera, and a toolbox. The car is where you can see all your cars. Once you get access to cars, you can just press X to instantly hop in your car and just zoom around. Smiley face is where all your emotes and your poses are, which you will get access to those through a town life guide quest. The camera is also something you'll get through a town life guide quest, and it's just like any other camera, just taking photos. And the toolbox down there is where you can see all your tools are. You can go into that and click on a tool that you want to use at a time, put it away there. That's where they're stored. They're not stored in your backpack, they're stored in the toolbox. Now, the first thing I really want to get into and talk about is the town life guide. You've heard me say it a few times, especially with the emotes and the camera. The town life guide as a beginner is your best friend. The town life guide is essentially quests that slowly unlock as you progress in the game. And they're essentially like mini tutorials. You'll have some that help you figure out and explain how to dye your furniture, build sets in your house, make blueprints. You'll have some that teach you how to get and use emotes, how to use your camera, how to make friends, how to level up and continue on in hobbies. And there's even my favorite one, which is the animal care one. And if you've ran around Heartopia for any length of time, you may have seen a lot of wild animals, not just dogs and cats, but ferrets, pandas, capybaras, alpacas, and you want to interact with them, but you just can't. You can't click on them, you can't do anything with them. This town life guide, when you start the animal care quest tutorial, it will open up access to the animal care widget in the watch, and it will also generate troughs around the map where you can feed the wild animals, and then once they're full and happy, you're able to interact with them and level them up, get more interactions with them. They'll give you gifts and all that kind of stuff. So I know a lot of people, whenever they jump on, they usually are jumping on because a friend convinced them to, and that friend is probably a lot further along than them. But I highly suggest you don't just ignore the quests that start off the game, and you don't ignore the town life guide, because otherwise there's going to be things that you just are wanting to do, like emote with your friends or share little photos with each other or take care of the animals, and you're just not going to be able to do it because this game keeps things locked behind progress. Also, if you're starting on day 1, even if you played for 24 hours, it will stop your progress. You will not be able to go past level 5, essentially. And it will not allow you to continue moving through the quests until the next day. It will just not give you the next quest at a certain point. This is not the kind of game that you sit and grind for long periods of time. This is more of the game that you play for a few hours every day, every other day, and you slowly move on. I've really enjoyed playing for like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours every day, and it's been a nice relaxing time, and I've been able to progress, and you can see how far I am and all the stuff I've been able to do at my house. You can look at my character and you would think that I'm pretty far along, which I am. I am level, I think, 23, which the max that people can be right now is level 25, I believe. So don't ignore the quests, because also if you figure out how to do one of these things on your own, you'll still have to do this quest anyway, and then it will be just repeating information you already know, and then what's the point of that? Don't be confused when there's no point in needing to be confused. The next thing is, that's probably one of the more important things, is the paid elements. You probably want to know about this. You probably want to have a good grasp on this before you dive too much into this game. After you get through the first part of the story, you will have a quest that will ask you to go into town, help Dorothy in the clothing shop, and help Bob in his furniture store. And once you've helped Bob in his furniture store, you will meet a person called the Collector. And Collector will essentially unlock the aspects of the game where you can use real money to pay for in-game cosmetics. So starting off with the gacha specific mechanics, you can get to the gacha through the little gift box looking icon at the top of your screen. So in the way you're going to be able to get items through gacha is by doing draws, and draws will cost various exhibition pass amounts. I highly suggest, if you see one that you are interested in getting, I highly suggest you click the little question mark logo that is around usually the name of the outfit, because this will tell you the odds of how likely it is for you to get everything. It will also tell you how much it will cost, because some of the draws do increase in price as you go further along. Like the one that I got, the Frost Guard, I have not fully completed this outfit, and I'm not going to, but the first pull that I did cost 3 exhibition passes. But now if I try to do a pull, it will cost over 30 exhibition passes. And now with this one, it does guarantee that you will get a new item every time you pull. That is not the case with the first ones you see, the polar ones that you see. We may have new banners by the time you're watching this, so it might not look exactly the same. It might be My Little Pony, it might be the forest spells, but it's all going to be the same. Those cost the same amount of exhibition passes each time you press the button. It will always cost 6, but after the first 10 times that you pull it, it could take up to 25 more pulls before you get your next 11th item. So if you're very unlucky with this outfit, it could cost you up to $200 to $300 in real money. So I would highly suggest you look at everything, you decide if it's worth it, you decide if you're okay with just having 10 items so you can guarantee you will have 10 new of the different things, or if you really want to try to get the entire thing, just know that it could take up to $300 or however much. That's why I highly suggest you look at the draw rate of them. Now, if you do happen to get a duplicate, they will, instead of giving you the same hair twice, they will give you an exchange ticket. So instead of just having 2 blue hairs, you can exchange it for having a blue version of the hair and a pink version of the hair. And then you can have a whole pink version of the outfit or a purple version of the outfit. So that way you're not just like throwing money into the wind. It's just, you may have a bunch of different colors. If that makes sense, hopefully it does, but this is my first game that has gotcha elements in it, and I was very confused and hesitant in the beginning. Once you really break it down, it's not that scary, and with the current Winter Frost event, if you pay for the battle pass, the season pass, you can get exhibition passes through that. And I've been able to get some free exhibition passes that are limited time through this Winter Frost event. I have not paid any real money in this game, and I've been able to get a little bit of the currency here and there. I've been able to get some of the exhibition passes. I've been able to get some of the moonlight crystals, which is another currency. The only currency I've not been able to get that you could pay for is the red heart crystals. The only way you can get red hearts is through paying real money. The moonlight crystals and the red heart crystals, those can be used to purchase items in the little shopping basket icon, and that is the acorn store. And that is essentially like your regular, normal looking premium shop type store. They will each week, there is a weekly refresh, and you'll be able to see a little coin icon when you click on it, because they want to make sure you see those items, so maybe you're tempted to buy them. They'll give you free coins, the in-game currency, to get your eye on there. I've been really happy and content with the amount of moonlight crystals I've been able to get from just daily sign-in rewards that are in the planet, or as rewards from the Winter Frost event. As well as there's a lot of codes for you to redeem. I will have them in either a pinned comment or the description, as well as how long they last for. So in case you're watching this really far in advance, some of the codes may be expired, but for right now, there are a lot of codes to redeem that will give you wishing stars, that will give you in-game items, and that will sometimes give you the premium currencies. So you can redeem those by going into the settings, and at the bottom right-hand side, it will say redeem code, and you'll just type the code into there, press OK, and you can only redeem it once per account. But after you redeem it, it will go to your mailbox where you can claim said rewards. Next, we're gonna go into the watch specifically. And I'm gonna kind of go through not every single one of the apps, because some of the apps are pretty self-explanatory, like settings. You're going in there to tweak settings. Collection, you're going in there to see what you have collected, see all the things you can collect. And you can get rewards through completing collections or making progress in collections, that sort of thing. So I'm not going to go through every single one of these widgets. I'm just going to hit what I think is the maybe either more confusing or the ones that require a little bit more explanation. We're gonna start at the very top. You can see my little photo icon. If you click on your photo icon, it will pop up your passport, essentially, kind of like in Animal Crossing. You can change your title, you can change your photo, and you can even show off badges for achievements that you've completed and stuff like that there. But beside that, you can see the time it is in game along with a weather icon. If you click on that weather icon, it will pull up the weather app. This is one thing I did not know for the longest. This is the thing that took me the longest to figure out myself, because most games have weather and they don't really mean anything. It's just ambiance in the background. But weather is important in this game. If it is snowing or raining, there is going to be a special person inside the Arch Street Market, which is a part of the town, selling an exclusive food recipe and frosting to make said food recipe. And they're only available during the rainy season or the rainy times. Their name is Doris, and you can also see Doris during meteor showers and rainbow events. So meteor showers, if you look on in your weather app, and it will say maybe Friday, it looks like there's a little meteor shower icon. On that Friday, you'll be able to see what time the meteor shower is going to be happening inside your game. And then during that time, meteors will fall over Ocean Mountain, and you can go collect up to 6 different meteor, starfall, shard, nodes, whatever you want to call them. You can collect up to 6 of them. And during the meteor event, you can go and meet Doris. She will be around where the bug catching event starts. And she'll look a little bit different, but it will still be Doris. And you can use those shards that you have gotten, exchange them with her to buy meteor exclusive furniture. Now, if you see that the meteor shower is going to be on in like the middle of the night or while you're at work and you just can't get on, no worries. You might not be able to meet Doris and get the furniture from her, but you can still pick up the shards. I don't know how long specifically the shards last. I'm gonna guess 24 hours, because I was able to pick up the meteor shards 16 hours after the meteor shower had ended. So it would be weird if it was just 16 hours, so that's why I'm gonna guess 24. But if for some reason you go and it's been longer than 16 hours, and you're like, they're not there, I can't vouch for that. I just know that I was able to pick them up 16 hours after the fact. And so I was able to go around, collect all my shards, and I'm ready to see Doris next time a meteor shower happens to go pick up that exclusive furniture. And then the last major weather event is the rainbow event. This one is the most important, and you do have to be on in order to receive any benefits from it. The rainbow event will give you a rainbow blessing. This rainbow blessing essentially gives you double of an item that you're collecting. So if you are running around collecting blueberries, truffles, rare wood, fish, bugs, anything and everything, if you are going around and collecting those things, it will give you multiples. And there are also rainbow bouquets. There are up to 3 rainbow bouquets that will spawn around town during the event. One will spawn directly in front of your house. The other 2 will spawn somewhere in the town. You just kind of have to go around looking for the bubble with the giant bouquet in it. And those bouquets give you 30 minutes of the rainbow blessing. Don't use them during the rainbow event. Wait until it's after the rainbow event. A lot of people, me included, highly recommend going around and just collecting as much as possible. Collect all the truffles, collect all of the mushrooms you can see, collect all the wood, collect all the berries. Just go collecting crazy during that time. And then after the rainbow event is over, use all that food and resources you gathered to cook a bunch of meals that you can then sell and make a lot of money by selling all that food. And specifically the truffles. Truffles usually spawn on that small island, only 4 at a time, and it takes 15 minutes for them to respawn. Some people will just stay there. Every 15 minutes, they'll come back to their computer, grab all the truffles, and then go off AFK for 15 more minutes. Same with the big trees around town that give you the rarer lumber. Now those take 2 hours to recharge for you to hit them again, but if you usually hit them at the beginning of the rainbow event, you can hit them again before the rainbow event is officially over. And then after the rainbow event is over, you can pop your rainbow bouquet before you cook, so you can have a chance of getting higher starred meals that will sell for more. You see what we're cooking up? Yes. And also during the rainbow event, Doris will be wandering around somewhere, and you can get some exclusive little items from her as well. And you can also get this cute little emote. Oh my goodness, this emote is probably my favorite emote, but you can only get it during a rainbow blessing. Next is the Developers Guild widget. So the Developers Guild is essentially the level up system that I was talking about earlier in the video, where I am level like 23, and you can see through each level, you can see things like at level 17, you're able to unlock the music recorder, so you can play music and then burn it to a CD that other people can enjoy, and things like that. If you're ever curious about like, hey, I want to do this, I want to write books, when do I get my next hobby unlocked? All this kind of stuff. When do I get more storage in my warehouse? When can I get these building materials? Things like that. Look at the DG member levels, and it will explain when you can unlock something. And the way you level up is by doing different things around town, mainly by doing resident requests. Down here at the very bottom, you can see a little ribbon essentially, and it will say this many ribbons out of this many ribbons, and you need to fill up that entire row before you have the ability to pay to upgrade your membership. Now you'll be paying in-game currency once you get, like as you can see here, once I get this many badges in my current level, I won't instantly level up. I will then have to pay however much gold it wants me to fully upgrade and become next member level and be able to get all the things that it is talking about. Also in this app, you can see how many plots you have, and here's where you can buy more plots. Plots are very expensive. Be prepared to hoard all your money if you want a big house, because I mean very expensive. More expensive than Tom Nook in Animal Crossing. Next, we're going to kind of go over 2 widgets at the same time, the hobby widget and the dream widget. Now, the hobby widget you'll get access to immediately. You'll start with fishing, and then you'll be given access to gardening. And then after gardening, you'll get to choose between cooking, bird watching, and insect catching. And you'll essentially continue picking through those 3 until you've picked the cooking, the insect catching, and the bird watching, all 3. There is dog caring and cat caring. You cannot unlock those hobbies until you've unlocked all the other hobbies. So if you want a cat, get all your other hobbies unlocked. Progress through that. But here in the hobbies tab, you'll be able to see all the different hobbies. There is an exclusive new hobby, snow sculpting, for the Winter Frost event that is currently going on. But you've probably heard me talk about writing books and painting and music, and you're like, okay, but I don't see those in the hobby section. How do I do that? Those are considered dreams. So dreams are something that you will unlock in your town life guide. Like I said before, it is very important to do those town life guide tutorial quests. You will unlock them in the town life guide, and that is where you'll have access to puzzles, writing books, making music, and during the Winter Frost event, ice skating. So there's all these different hobbies. Your hobbies exclusively will upgrade the same way your DG member level does. So you click into a hobby, you'll see down at the bottom how much you have to progress and get experience in that hobby. And then you'll be able to use your hobby exchange tickets that you've been accumulating to upgrade it. Just because you have the hobby upgrade tickets doesn't mean you can upgrade it yet. You gotta fill up that bar at the bottom first. I have a lot more hobby upgrade tickets than I need right now because of the disparity of how fast I'm leveling up my hobbies versus how fast I'm collecting the upgrade tickets. And dreams will upgrade in a more different way. It's more so like a skill tree. You can do something, and then after you do that, you can unlock this next thing. Like with puzzles, you do all these different types of puzzles. You fill out puzzles in different ways and things like that. Or if you're writing a book, having other Heartopia players buy your book and read your book and just progress through the skill tree like that. And I feel like Heartopia does a really good job of explaining how the hobbies work, how to do everything. I don't think they explain the hobby events very well, like the bird watching event, the fishing event, and the bug catching event, but the hobby itself, I think they do a good job. Some tips that I have is when it comes to bug catching, just try to get as close to the bug as possible before you throw your net. Try to just swat the bug with the net and you won't really miss ever. With the bird watching will be slow to level up. But you can take up to 4 photos of the same bird before it flies away, and that will count as like 4 points. So you can sit there and wait for there to be a 2-star different action that the bird does, like calling out or finding food, things like that. But for the most part, I just spam click the 1-star idle pose for all the birds and go with it. Because you can, with the bird watching cards, you can't really display them, you can't really do anything with them, you can't store them anywhere. So you can either give them to Bailey J, who's in charge of bird watching, and you can give her up to 5 a day, or you can just sell them to Albert Jr. or gold. It won't be a lot of gold, but it's better than nothing. Better than them sitting in your pocket taking up space. And if you're really interested in having a lot of furniture, having a lot of clothes, if you're interested in having just a lot of money, cooking is the best hobby for that. Specifically, once you unlock the truffle pie recipe, that is the recipe that I have access to right now. That is the best for making me money, which is why that rainbow event is so imperative. And if you really do want to get into cooking, I would suggest going to Massimo every day and buying the food that is on discount, because you can only buy a certain number of food every day. So just buy what's on discount every time, so that way you can slowly build up how much you have. Next, we're going to talk about the animals. We're going to talk about your pets and the wild animals. So with your pets, after you've unlocked all the other hobbies, you can unlock cat carrying, and then you can unlock dog carrying second. You don't have to adopt the first animal you see. I waited around and adopted animals that looked like my real life animals, and I love it for that. And as you can see, I have 3 animals. I have 2 cats and 1 dog. As you level up your dog carrying or your cat carrying, you can have more animals. You can have up to 5 cats and 3 dogs. I will say with the dogs that as of right now, they will eat you out of house and home. The food that Miss Jones sells for 150 gold each, no. Dogs do not get that. It's too much money for them. They eat too much. I will be playing for an hour, and at the very beginning, I'll feed them, and by the end of that hour, they'll be like they're starving again. So no, they will eat mushrooms. All the mushrooms I pick that aren't really valuable in food, especially during rainbow events, you know? That's what I feed my dog in Heartopia. Is it a balanced diet? No, but you gotta do what you gotta do. The cats, their food goes down like normal, like you would expect it to. So they get the normal animal food from Miss Joan. I will say that right now the animals do get stuck in your roof a lot. I would suggest if you can't find an animal, you can go into the animal app and click track pet, and you'll be able to see exactly where they are. When you level up your animals, you're able to take them out on walks with you and just kind of have them run around Heartopia alongside you. And whenever I'm doing that, especially with my dog, I like to have my track pet on for him so that way I can just see where he is and how far away he is from me. Because if they are far away from you for a long enough period of time, I believe it's 10 seconds, they will be sent back home. And you don't want that. And then for the wild animals, there are pandas, capybaras, bunnies, ferrets, foxes, otters, alpacas, and deer. All of these are in different spots on the map. If I go into my map real quick, you can see all the diamonds that are on my map. Those are different pet trough spots. So at the trough, you'll go up to a trough, you'll fill it up with a food. Each animal has a favorite type of food. You can look up what they are. But I've mostly guessed and gotten pretty good. Like, you know, pandas, you can kind of suspect that they really like bamboo. And it's true, it is one of the foods that they love. So you'll fill up the trough with bamboo, and then after that, you can go to the pandas themselves and give them a treat. As you level up with them, you can pet them and cuddle with them and different things like that. All right, and then every day, if you have fed the animals, not all of them, but some of them will give you a present. So you can go back to the trough and pick up the present. Sometimes it's wood, sometimes my pandas like to give me bamboo, which essentially is just feeding themselves. Other times it's different materials inside the game that the animals will give you. Or as you level up, they'll give you trophies, like this panda trophy and this deer trophy that I have from leveling up those animals the most. And those are the ones that I have the most relationship with because they're right by the truffle island. They're right on the way, so why not see them? And then the last widget we're gonna go over is blueprints. Building in this game is a lot like Palia, how you're kind of connected to your player, the item that you're moving, so you kind of have to move your person around in order to put something in the exact location you want. As you upgrade your DG membership, you will get access to God mode essentially in the decorating window. So when you click on the house and do solo building or co-op building, you can go into God mode, and then it's like regular normal building that one would expect it to be. But blueprints are essentially unlimited houses for you to have. You can, as you can see here within my blueprints, I have a starter home, I have a upgraded starter home, and then I have my dream home. The dream home, while it doesn't look like it in my blueprint photo, it is the home that I have right here where you can see it. And the starter home, if I wanted to for some reason, I could place the starter home down, place that blueprint down, and have the home that I had whenever I was first playing the game, within my first week or two of playing the game. Or if I decided I want to build a winter home, or I want to build a summer home, I want to build a pink home, a blue home, I want to build a spooky home, whatever, I want to build a castle, whatever your heart desires, you can build all these different blueprints. And you can either import a blueprint from what you have built already down, like if you've changed things up to your house and you want to add it, or you can just click edit the blueprint, and if you're clicking a blank blueprint, it will give you a clean slate so you don't have to delete anything. If you don't finish it during that game play session, you don't have to worry about logging back on and your house being a wreck, because that's not your house, that's your blueprint. The blueprints do cost money and resources to build them up. If you go from a house that cost a lot of money to build to a house that didn't cost as much money, whenever you swap the blueprints over, you will get the money and the resources that it took to build the expensive blueprint back into your inventory, back into your backpack, back into your wallet. The only thing I will warn you about is in the blueprint building mode, you have unlimited items. Like, you could place down 20 million cabinets if you wanted to. But if you don't have that many cabinets actually in your inventory, when you go to load that blueprint and actually place it down, it will delete all the cabinets that you're trying to place down until it lands on the exact number of cabinets you have in your backpack. I ran across that issue when trying to build this house that we have right here. I built a lot nicer of a kitchen, and I just didn't have a lot of the overhead cabinetry that I wanted. And so it took it away because I didn't actually have that. You just have to wait till more comes into the store to be able to do that. So I will warn you about that. But other than that, it does take a little time getting used to the controls of building, but if you give yourself that time, it really does get a lot easier. It does. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on the Winter Frost event. I have a live stream that I will link down below. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but the first half of it is me kind of going over and exploring the Winter Frost update with you. So you can watch that if you would like, but I'm not putting it in this video, so that way this video isn't as dated and you don't have to worry about changes. But there is a season pass, kind of like if you play Disney Dreamlight Valley, a star path, or if you play Palia with the lunar paths and things like that, that a lot of games are doing now. There's a free version and then a paid version of different rewards. There are different hobbies and things such as the snowman building and the ice skating that we talked about. There's exclusive food, there's exclusive items. It's a lot of fun. You do have to have progressed through a certain level of the base game in order to have access to the Winter Frost event. I don't know exactly how far you need to be in the game, but just as long as you, as a beginner, are playing through the quests and not ignoring the quests to just go off and explore and do your own thing, do a little bit of exploring, but mostly, you know, stick to what the quests are telling you to do for like the first little bit. You'll be able to get a much more solid handle on everything that's going on in the game. Because, like I said at the beginning, Heartopia has been out for a month. And while it may seem like a lot, if you're joining now, it's still the beginning. It's still the early days of this game. There is so much that can change. This game will probably look a lot different a year from now. So don't feel like you're behind yet. No need to feel overwhelmed. No need to rush yourself. No need to try to speed through any of this game. Go at your own pace, enjoy it, and if you have any questions, or if you're like, Lakin, can you please clarify that? Please leave those questions down in the comments, and if I feel like I can't fully explain it in a comment clearly, I'll make a video just for you. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you have any videos that you want to see with Heartopia, please let me know, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We love Heartopia friends here. If you couldn't tell, we're a little obsessed with it, and I hope you enjoy it as well as you go on this Heartopia adventure. I will see you next time, whether that is in a video or a live stream. I will see you then. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hopefully this video was helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!